So here's the thing about joy, is that a lot of people don't put value on it. They put value on making money or solving problems or creating security. How many times have you truly put your attention on amplifying your joy? Well, that's what we're going to do today, because you pressed the play button. So you're here with me. We're hanging out. We're going to go over these 5 really simple, maybe not so simple, steps that you can take that will actually amplify your joy. Just try them. I do recommend trying them all, but at least try a few, okay? So number 1, this is probably the most obvious. You've probably heard this before, but it's actually really valuable and makes a difference. You're going to clear out all the depressing shit, all the joy killers of your life, okay? I remember I actually purged for a full 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, I did not listen to any song that brought down my level of joy. No sad songs, no sad movies, no sad TV shows, all of those things that just bring you down. If you have friends that completely decrease your level of joy, you're not going to hang out with them. Not at least while you're doing these action steps, not today, okay? Everything, you're going to clear out everything that brings you down, all the low shit in your life. Now, you might have something like, oh, but that's my partner. Oh, but that's my work. Okay, you might not be ready to make a massive drastic change, but as much as you can, you're going to clear out everything that brings your level of joy down. Done. Goodbye. Move it aside. We're on the joy train right now. You don't belong here. Oh, bye-bye. All right? Even the clothing, like, do you have those items that you just have them around in case like you just need something, but when you put them on, you always kind of feel like low? Or you have like a painting in your house that just kind of like makes you feel depressed? Get rid of it. Put it in the basement, put it in the attic if you're not like ready to fully commit to this joy bomb amplification thing. If you are, get it out. Done. Get rid of it. Show the universe, show yourself that you are making joy a priority in your life and that this is impeding upon that joy. So, bye-bye. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to invite you to actually minimize the checkout, the stuff that you're using to check out. We buy these checkout things as almost as a way to have synthetic joy. It's like where you watch something, you can watch, like, I love stand-up comedy. So it like brings up my joy and I'm laughing and I'm joyful and I'm having fun, okay? That's a different sensation than when you're just kind of aimlessly watching something you're kind of half checked out. You can't even really recall what you watched after it. Or maybe you drink a lot of alcohol, or you smoke up, you take any kind of medication that is checking you out so that you can't even actually be there for the joy, right? If it doesn't enliven you, it might not belong in your life. If you want a truly joyful life, if it doesn't bring you joy, you might not want to choose it. If you're using it as coping, it's not that it brings you joy, but it dampens what's not joyful in your life. That's not the same thing, right? Dampening the unpleasantries, coping with the depression is not amplifying joy. We're looking at all the things that are checking you out, that are not bringing you joy, and you're getting rid of those, even the checkout things. This doesn't mean you can't ever have a glass of wine again for the rest of your life. Just put it to the side for a day or two while you play with this exercise. Number 3, you know I love my lists. You're going to make a joy list. What are the things that you already know bring you joy? Maybe it's singing to some of your favorite songs, like really loud. Maybe it's going for a walk in nature, going to the beach, going swimming. What is truly joyful for you? Not like, oh yeah, that's nice, or that's fun, or I can do that. But you have a sense of your joy increasing whenever you engage in that activity. Make that list. And then underneath it, this is number 4, you're going to make I've always wanted to list. I've always wanted to. Because here's the thing. So your joy list might be huge and super full of all these wonderful things. And you also might have a joy list that has 1 thing, 2 things, nothing. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And you're not wrong. Okay? We're going to create more for that list, whether you have 1,000 items or 0 items. And that is the I've always wanted to list. These are things often you've maybe seen or heard of, and you had this little sense of, oh, like this pull, this lean in. Maybe you saw someone horseback riding, you're like, oh, I've always wanted to do that, but never took action. Okay. Oh, I've always wanted to like go on one of those 3-day hikes up into the mountains. I've always wanted to try surfing. Now, this is different than, oh, I should do those things, so I want to do those things because it's appropriate for me to do those things, and I haven't done those things yet. I mean, that actually gave you that tug, like a possibility, that tug for like, oh, that could be really joyful. So you're going to make, you have the 2 lists, the joy list and the I've always wanted to joy list. And now you've probably already guessed what number 5 is. You're going to take some action. Choose those things that amplify your joy. Start to surround yourself with things that amplify your joy. Now, joy is not something outside of you, okay? So it's not about I'm just surrounding myself around these things and they become the source. It's that you taking the action, you're the source for joy because you become joy. Joy is something that you be. Often we lock out joy or lock down joy in certain areas. Many, many reasons behind that. We don't really tend to go into that in this video, but maybe I'll make a podcast about that. But what we're doing is we're starting to clear out, because we're clearing out all the stuff that bring us down. Even that itself, see the suppression. So we have stuff that bring us down, suppresses our joy. It starts to come off. Woo! All those things. And when that suppression comes off, naturally, the joy will start to expand. Then you surround yourself with things that increase your joy. Again, not from them being a source, but from an invitation for you to step into more of what you be. That vibration of living, that vibration of joy and possibility. And when you have more and more and more of that show up in your life, when you're choosing more of those things, so you're choosing those, so maybe you love to dance, but you never choose to dance. Dance isn't the source for the joy. It's actually you stepping into, you taking the action required to step into the joy that you be through dance. Truly choosing the things that make you happy. Truly choosing the things and spending time with people that your joy just naturally expands around. Take action. And what if you took action at least once a day? Just once a day. It could be for 5 minutes. You could fit in 5 minutes of joy, right? Just fit it in, like you're brushing your teeth in the morning. Maybe you have to do your little dance there. Whatever that is for you. Play with these 5 steps. I would love to hear if this was a contribution. I'd love to hear if your joy amplified. a little bit in this video, if maybe you had a clearer sense of some things that you could be choosing. And if you notice a massive resistance coming up, be present with that. Look at that for a moment. What is behind that resistance? What is the value of that resistance? For what reason would you not allow your joy to amplify beyond control? Thank you so much. Please click the like, the subscribe button, share this with a friend, a frenemy, anyone that you get could contribute from this, that could use a little joy amplification. You can rewatch this as many times as you want to and notice your joy getting greater and greater and greater the more actions you take, the more that you're willing to step out of that comfort zone, because often joy lives right outside the comfort zone. Not always, but often. So the more you're willing to step into that space of joy that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to have in a really long time, the more ease you're going to have with it, and the more abundantly that energy will be in your life. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.